face, Friedman! Ah! I keep getting emails from people telling me to dismantle some of the arguments of this Thomas Sowell guy, and apparently he's one of the foundational thinkers of the right, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's do it. Every time I see shit from this guy, he comes off stupid as fuck. So, yeah.
That we're hoping for. On the other hand, we're talking about processes that we're setting in motion. You're saying, should we hope for certain kinds of lessening of inequality and so on? The real question, the political question is, shall we set in motion certain processes because we hope for that? And do those processes enhance or reduce freedom? And I think the argument that Milton is making, certainly the argument that I would make, is that the attempt at doing these things, and it doesn't really matter, it's a complete straw man to talk about absolute inequality. No, not
yes,
at all.
Yes, it is,
no.
Absolutely. Throughout the film, this is the straw man he brings up in order to say how ridiculous to have absolute equality. And then he goes on to say how ridiculous to have absolute
my whole point is,
homogenization as well.
As a result, you see, that you set up processes whose end result may not be any more or less inequality than exists now, but the question is, those processes may indeed reduce freedom greatly. I would go.
Okay, so there are two types of equality: equality of outcome and equality of I guess of process. Equality from a sort of foundational position. So this is the some people call it equity versus equality. Oh, equality of opportunity. Thank you. Yeah. Though honestly, I would argue even equality of opportunity is kind of a misnomer.
Thomas Sowell's a scholar. He's authored over 30 books. You couldn't, read one of them? At least one book, Vaush? That way maybe you could pretend like you're actually acting in good faith here. Vaush, I think I can provide some assistance here.
Hello, boys and girls. Today, we are going to talk about libraries. The library is a place with a large collection of books. You can use them, but they are not for sale.
Well, I guess we're not going to be getting a good faith discussion here. Instead, Vaush is going to respond to some public talk Thomas Sowell gave around 30 years ago. So let's get ready for some 240p content. By the way, they're actually discussing Milton Friedman. Vaush has to dumb it all down with this equality of outcome versus equality of opportunity bullshit. That allows his audience of 14-year-olds to be able to understand what's going on. Now, it would be my recommendation to Vaush to actually read Milton Friedman before embarrassing himself with this, but it's his call. I understand that Milton Friedman books have a lot of big words in them.
Now, here's the same conservative grift that gets played every single fucking time I hear one of these idiots open their stupid fucking mouths, okay? The left claims to want equality. What do they mean by that? Do they mean equality of outcome, where we're all exactly the same? Well, that's impossible. Equality's impossible. This is I hear it every single fucking time. It's insane how often they do this. It's, well, of course, well, that can happen. Actually, obviously, nobody. Let me be perfectly clear about this. Nobody talks about equality of outcome.
Do I live in some sort of alternate universe from Vaush? Was I just hallucinating when I saw some cheeky bastard trying to debate Thomas Sowell on this very issue? Are we talking about some full-fledged Mandela effect shit going on here? Well, let's rewind and find out.
And it doesn't really matter. It's a complete straw man to talk about absolute inequality. No, not
yes,
at all.
Yes, it is.
No.
Absolutely. Throughout the film, this is the straw man he brings up in order to say how ridiculous to have absolute equality. And then he goes on to say how ridiculous to have absolute
equality. My whole point is,
Vaush, you slimy little weasel. Apparently, this is a mainstream leftist opinion.
Go beyond the question of equality and put it more generally, that any process to ascribe any status to any group of people, equality, inferiority, superiority, must necessarily reduce freedom, because whatever the government wishes to ascribe to any group, whatever place, to use the phrase that was very common in the South, that blacks should have their place, whatever place the government is going to assign to people, that place will not coincide, that place will not coincide either with what all those people are doing or with how others perceive all those people, because there's too much diversity among human beings.
This point is actually so stupid, it's actually unfathomable to me that he would attempt to make this. So what he's essentially arguing right now is that any time any sort of differentiated status is given to a certain group of people, it's dumb because there's diversity amongst people. This is an idiotic perspective. I have no idea what these two things have to do with one another.
Okay, let's watch this one more time. When we do so, I'm going to simplify Thomas Sowell's points so that even someone like Vaush can understand them.
Go beyond the question of equality and put it more generally, that any process to ascribe any status to any group of people, equality, inferiority, superiority, must necessarily reduce freedom, because whatever the government wishes to ascribe to any group, whatever place, to use the phrase that was very common in the South, that blacks should have their place, whatever place the government is going to assign to people, that place will not coincide, that place will not coincide either with what all those people are doing or with how others perceive all those people, because there's too much diversity among human beings.
This point is actually so stupid, it's actually unfathomable to me that he would attempt to make this. So what he's essentially arguing right now is that any time any sort of differentiated status is given to a certain group of people, it's dumb because there's diversity amongst people. This is an idiotic perspective. I have no idea what these two things have to do with one another.
Now that you've seen it twice, did Thomas Sowell ever say that it was dumb to give a differentiated status to a minority group in any situation? No, he never said that. So what's exactly going on here then? Well, it sounds to me like Vaush just misquoted a black college professor. He then mocked him and called him an idiot for saying something that he in fact never said. This, of course, was broadcast to Vaush's audience of thousands of people. The audience responds with a chat full of peppy memes, obviously racist jokes about Thomas Sowell riding the bell curve. And here I was thinking that Vaush actually loved all black people.
Are you Nazi?
I am not a Nazi.
You're not. You don't love black people.
I do love black people. I love them,
You
and I
hate
love
black
you.
people.
I love black people.
No.
Niggers.
Whew.
Niggers.
Taking a black opinion on such matters of should people be paid equally or should there be this or that. Black people have never taken a position that you describe.
Wait, black people have never taken the position that they should be paid equally to white people? What the fuck are you talking about?
Here's the Vaush method of responding to conservatives. First, just flat out ignore what the person actually said. Then make up something stupid that you can easily debunk. You then pretend the stupid thing you made up is what the conservative person actually said. I'm gonna do another rewind so we can see the Vaush method in action.
Taking a black opinion on such matters of should people be paid equally or should there be this or that. Black people have never taken a position that you describe.
Wait, black people have never taken the position that they should be paid equally to white people? What the fuck are you talking about?
It is not what any black people have ever said anywhere that you can put your finger on.
No black person has ever said they want equal pay for equal work. Damn, I would love to see a source on that, my dude. I think they had a whole fucking movement about that in large part.
Yeah, just keep on pretending like you said the thing you made up. When your audience is this stupid, you can take it for granted that they won't realize what you're doing.
Put into the mouth of the pollsters, as far as I can see. Look at the leadership of the black community.
Like most people, I have never seen a pollster.
If you look at the leadership of the black...
Wait, he claims that the polls support him, and then he jokes about having never actually seen the polls? And they're clapping? That's
Holy shit. Mind fucking blown. There are actually people who watched this discussion and didn't treat it as the most serious fucking thing in the world. I know it's hard for someone like Vaush to believe. There are actually people out there who are emotionally mature enough not to completely lose their shit over a fucking Milton Friedman discussion. Maybe after Vaush learns how to read, he can learn how to manage emotions like a big boy.
Oh, base Sowell! Base Sowell, big brain! I think Vaush is a good preview of what politics will be like when our society enters the idiocracy stage.
That's what you said last time, dipshit.
I got a solution. You're a dick. South Carolina, what's up?
2 minutes of this video was him speaking, and he embarrassed himself every time he opened his mouth, and that's all it takes for these dumb fucks to, oh, you got him.
Perhaps a room full of college professors at Stanford aren't the stupid ones. Vaush, you haven't read any of Thomas Sowell's books. You can't even pronounce his name correctly. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you haven't read Milton Friedman either. I want you to entertain an idea for a second, Vaush. Perhaps it is you who is the stupid one. Perhaps you're completely out of your league. You're not an intellectual. You've got a mind locked tighter than the border between the two Koreas. There's really not all that much left for me to cover here. Vaush spends the rest of the video dropping any pretense at all that this is a legitimate political discussion. Instead, he just chimps out and makes monkey noises for his audience of morons.
Base one Friedman, sir! Base one Friedman, sir!
Anyways, that's my thoughts on perhaps the most pathetic piece of YouTube content I've ever watched. If you enjoyed this video and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please support small channels like mine by subscribing. Thanks.
A librarian can help make things easier. If you can't find the book that you need, ask a librarian to help you.